I want to ask you guys a question. What do you think social media was really there for? What do you think is the real intention behind social media? Some people will say control. Some people will say spying on you. Those are both correct answers, but there's something more behind it. Social media was there because social media is a social credit system. That's what it's there for. It's a social credit system. You know, how many thumbs up you got on Facebook? How many views do you have? How many friends do you have? How many people follow you? Oh, look at me, I'm driving a nice car and I'm in the Bahamas. Look at me, I'm taking a picture with somebody famous. Look at me, I'm with a friend of a friend of a famous person. The more likes you have, the more, the more the pictures that you post that people like, the more they like you, the more popular you are, the more they want to hang out with you, etc. On Twitter, it's all about retweets and how many followers you have. That's your social credit rating. On Instagram, it's whatever the hell that is. How many reshares or likes or hearts, whatever the fuck they use over there. On YouTube, it's all about likes and views and dislikes. What do you think the dislike button was there for? Because it's a rating system. It's a hierarchy. It's a hive system. Social media was there because social media is a social credit system. It is based upon how many people like you and what your ratings are. In this episode of Black Mirror called Nosedive, it was all about ratings. Everybody rated everybody for everything. You couldn't go into certain places unless you had a certain kind of rating. So everybody was rating everybody. It's all about ratings and views and likes and dislikes. And that's because social media is a social credit system. China right now is using that, as a matter of fact. And the thing about all this is, all these people that will play this game of who, like my video, share my video, and all this stupid nonsense. There's one thing that these people don't realize, is that when shit hits their fan, and when they take a nosedive in their rating system, their little social credit rating system, you have to understand that these people don't give a shit about you. They don't care, because it's all about numbers. It's all about that rating. What is your credit score on the social media interweb? How many people like your video? How many people share your video? How many people agree with what you have to say? Is your social credit rating up to par, or is it not? Because if it's not up to par, then you don't matter. But the one thing these people fail to realize in all this nonsense is that when shit hits their fan and they take a nosedive, they're going to realize who their true friends are. Because when shit hits their fan, they're going to see who's really going to be there by their side when things go down. And they're going to find out there's not going to be anybody there. That's why social media and the internet is full of a bunch of stupid nonsense. And people fighting each other and disagreeing and agreeing. It's ridiculous. Because it's all about the social credit rating. This thing has been in effect since the internet became about. The whole damn thing. That's why I took off my subscribers when I made this YouTube account. It's pointless. Who cares how many subscribers I have? Is my life based upon how many subscribers I have? Or how many likes or dislikes I have? Well, in this world it does, unfortunately. And you see this a lot on Facebook and social media. Everybody wants to be on top. But you want to know something, that another thing that these people fail to realize is that they think they're on top. There are people that are so above them, like the people that created the social credit system called social media, or wherever it is that they're a part of. They could throw you back down just as easily. There's always somebody on top of you, and the people that think they're on top of everybody else, there are people that are 30,000 steps above them that can throw them down, and they can take a nosedive, and shit can hit their fan. And when that happens, well, they're going to see who's really beside them. And people will lie and bullshit just like people do when they try to get a credit rating at a bank. They'll say, everybody likes to play this game with everybody else, thinking that they're on top and, they can make it happen. It's all about credit. It's your social credit, It's a social credit of finance, and it's a social credit of social media. Is that number up to par? Because you can't buy that car or afford that house if it's not. Is your social credit system, is your likes up, is your views up? Because if it's not, then you're not going to get seen, which means you don't get the money if you're trying to make money off of this thing. Another part of what YouTube has done, those fuckers, is that they have rearranged the social credit system called YouTube, where you can't say something that people don't like. Why do you think that is? It's because it's all about social credit. It's all about social credit. And they don't want people falling out of line, which is where the control comes in. That is what social media is there for. It is a social credit system. It's all about your ratings. That's why companies look at your Facebook page and your Instagram and all this stuff to find anything sketchy in there. How many likes do you have? What is your sphere of influence? What is your social credit rating? Can you make things happen? Are you up there or are you down there? It's all about social credit, my friends. And it's a joke. And it's evil and it's wicked. Because the people that lie to make all these people try to like them and view their views and all this stuff, they're a bunch of narcissists and they're evil. Because they will step over everybody's heads, all for a number. Think about that. That's why I don't like most people, because I can see through their bullshit. That's why I like to keep people at a distance, because I know how fucked up this whole situation of this world that I live in is. Where people they care about nothing but a number. Because that's all that they are, really, is a number. That's all they know and that's all they care about. And when shit hits the fan, they're going to see who's really there. And it has nothing to do with how many likes or dislikes you have or any of that bullshit. Because the real social credit is who's going to be by your side when shit hits the fan, whatever form that takes. And yeah, you have people that will pretend to be by your side when you have a little bump in the road because your likes or you're famous or whatever it is. They'll pretend to be your friends. But when shit hits the fan, none of that matters. None of it matters. And I think that's a lesson that everybody's going to have to learn. Because a famous saying that went, you better be awfully nice to the people that you meet on the way up, because you're going to meet them on the way down. And you want to know why that is? It's because everybody falls. Because the whole purpose and the reason why this hive system of everybody trying to get up on when everybody else fucking fails is because you're not supposed to be on top. You're never going to be on top. Because there's always somebody that comes in to recycle you, because that is how the system works. It uses you and then it throws you out. It has no purpose for people being on top. Even the most famous and rich people in the world, in this world, they get cast down like everybody else does. 1 minute they're on top, the next minute they're in the gutter. 1 minute they're the most famous thing that people have ever heard of. The next minute, nobody gives a shit about them. All because of their little social credit system. The social credit system extends beyond social media. It's the whole society is based on social credit, because we live in a hive-minded world where everybody likes to leave and get up on everybody else based upon who gets to be on top. But everybody gets thrown back down, and that's why that famous saying goes, you better be awfully nice to the people you meet on the way up, because you're going to meet them on the way down. Because everybody is disposable in this world. And the fucked up thing about it is that people don't care. They'll still play the game. They'll play the game of likes and dislikes and reviews and sucking cock and kissing ass and brown nosing all day long so that they too can get them on the top and then they can get thrown back down, and they love it. They love that thing because that's all people ever know, because they never took the time to sit down and think, you know, maybe this is all bullshit and there's something more to that. But unfortunately, this thing is so ingrained and so fucked up now, and people don't realize it, that nobody cares. And they'll play the game, and that's why you just have to walk away. Sometimes you have to walk away. Sometimes certain battles are not worth fighting. Because when you realize that things are just too out of hand, the only thing you can do is walk away, because nobody's going to listen. Nobody cares. But to those who do get it, you have to walk away from it. This whole thing I see on YouTube all the time, everybody's, lying about, everybody's lying about something, because everybody wants a good social credit rating. People want to be liked, and people want to be remembered and respected, and there's nothing wrong with that. And because the society we live in is all about that social credit system. Because most people will never get to the point where they're admired and loved by everybody. And so people do things to try to be that. They try to do things to be important or feel important, because most people in this world are discarded. That's why it's fucking stupid. That's why this whole system is such a mess. People will lie and manipulate and not tell the truth about things because of the internet, because of the fact that people are hiding behind this veneer to improve their social credit system. Because in their personal life, they probably don't have a good social credit system. And who the fuck should anyway? This isn't about that. Life is not about your ratings and your likes and your dislikes and your views and what people, and all this nonsense. It's ridiculous. And if people were just more honest with themselves and more honest with each other, we live in a much different world, but that's not how things work here, unfortunately. For the people that get what I'm trying to say and all the videos I do and, the channel I do with Johnny about esoteric lectures, this is for people that are being honest with themselves. You're trying to honestly, you're being honest with yourself. You realize that, I want to know what's going on, and stop bullshitting. Because this bullshitting has gotten us nowhere. It's ruined people's lives. It's destroyed people's friendships. It's ruined everything. So, enough bullshit. I know I can't change and save the world. I can save maybe 5 people. And with those 5 people, we go and we walk the fuck away. The objective is not to battle the system. The objective is to walk away from a broken system. How are you going to fix a shattered mirror by putting all the pieces back together? It will never look the same. The objective is not to fight the system. You can never win against fighting a system that is already broken. It's like trying to put a crushed car back together with super glue. It doesn't work. That's why my intention was never to try to fight and change the world and change the system, because it's already broken. It's been broken because this place is evil, and that's just how it is. You can't fix evil. You can't fix a world that is based upon a social credit system where people want to step on everybody else's toes to get to the top, only to find out that when they do get to the top, they're just as easily discarded. And not only that, they realize that there are people 1,000 steps above them, and that those people that are 1,000 steps above them, there are people that are even higher than them that can throw them all down and then find somebody else to replace you. That's how fucked up the system is. And so that's why you don't try to fix a broken mirror, you just walk away. So that's why, you walk away from the system. It's already broken. You can't fix it. The objective is not to spend the rest of your life trying to battle a system. are always trying to wake people up. That's not the intention. It's for you to get it and for you to leave. Because we're all part of this system. We're all tied into this thing. The objective is not to stay in it and then try to, dig yourself a hole and keep backpedaling yourself. The idea is to take off the chains and walk away, not take the chains and start swinging at the system that you were born into. I think people have gotten the wrong idea. The objective is to walk away from it, not to try to sit in there and duel with it, because you're always going to lose. And I think that is what I'm going to end on that video. And that's what I wanted to say because I felt like I needed to say it. And, just on a final note, we have to, well, I'll put it this way. That's what social media is there for. It's all about a social credit system. And it's been there since the beginning of all this thing has been started. And we see this on YouTube, where everybody's trying to get up on somebody else or whatever. And everybody's lying about everything, And everybody is trying to pull this facade, trying to be somebody more important because they want that social credit rating. They want to feel important. There's nothing wrong with feeling important. But the problem is you're trying to feel important in a broken system that will recycle you and throw you to the wolves the minute that they feel they need to. So what's the point? It's ridiculous. This whole world is ridiculous, And so, for those that are willing to be honest with themselves, just keep that in mind. That's why I don't have Facebook. I don't have this. I'm not in the system called social media. I don't retweet. I don't ask for share. Like my video, share my video. I don't give a fuck about any of that because it's meaningless. It's completely meaningless. Whether or not, I ask for money for my videos and all that horse shit. It's ridiculous. People that ask for money based upon what they say is like somebody, please sir, may I feel important enough for you to give me money? How pathetic. How fucking pathetic. And that's what everybody likes to do, is play that game. But you know what? Let them play the game, because at some point, shit's going to hit their fan and they're going to realize what's really important in life. What's really, truly important, because there's not a lot of good there's not a lot of good going out here in this world. There's not a lot left, I can tell you that. There's very few there's not a lot of good people. There's even less few people that are willing to be honest. And the people that are willing to be honest, to the people that care, is more important and more rich and more valuable, and it is priceless. It is worth so much money that you can't even put a price tag on it, which is why that information is priceless. Okay, enough of my rant, enough of my ramble, and I felt like I needed to say that, and I'm done. So.